Hi, I'm Ray Arcade. Welcome to my channel. This is my husband.
Hello.
And this is a spooky edition of Stories from Reddit. So as you can see by our costumes, and also that our regular skeletons are gone, we now have a graveyard. We're doing a special Halloween-themed Stories from Reddit. So hopefully our souls won't be damned to hell for judging those, lest we be judged.
I don't know. I think it's a cold day down there.
So today, all the Reddit stories are Halloween themed, or scary themed, or spooky themed. Like usual, we have not read them, so we're going in raw. I think we might have a couple paranormal ones today from paranormal subreddit. So let's get into it. This is from r/advice. My girlfriend said she's not in a relationship at a party. Recently, my girlfriend, 18 female, and I, 18 male, went to a Halloween party. I was already uncomfortable with her going because a bunch of her coworkers were going to be there, and they tried flirting with her at work. While we were there, she got very drunk very fast. She's a lightweight. We were sitting together in a room full of her male coworkers, and the one guy I told her I absolutely do not like was sitting right next to her. So it was me, her, and him. She touched his leg to get his attention to play a drinking game with her. And it honestly made me feel like shit. But I was the sober driver, so I guess that's understandable. Suddenly, two girls rushed into the room. Who wants to play spin the bottle? You can't play if you're in a relationship, though. My girlfriend immediately yelled, I'm not, in front of everyone. I could hear the guys react in disbelief, and they were all kind of smiley. I don't know how to feel. It honestly hurt my feelings for sure, especially now that I know she's been Snapchatting the same coworker I hate. They snapped each other 6 times today. I don't know what to do. I feel disrespected and violated. I don't know if I should break things off. I already tried to, but honestly, it was so hard that I backed off and took it back. She was crying a lot. From the start, I promised her I would stay until the end, but I don't know if I can keep getting disrespected like this. Break up with her.
Up until the mention of the Snapchat, I thought I was listening to something from 1999. Who plays Spin the Bottle anymore?
Also, 18-year-olds drinking. I'm going to call the police.
That's how you end up like this.
Stop, that's not funny. That's illegal. Guys, look, our bat joined us. So, yeah, I mean, she's only crying because Stella, I'm licking. Please. Bzz. I mean, this is my favorite joke right now.
That's going to get left in.
Anyway, she's only crying because she wants to have her cake and eat it too, because she wants you to be her boyfriend, but she also wants to flirt and potentially cheat on you. So with people like that, there's no coming back from that, I think. She just sounds like a shitty person. I don't think there's anything worth salvaging in relationships where somebody will disrespect you to your face. So yeah, I mean, this one seems pretty straightforward. I know it might be hard, but I promise you, you're 18. There are other women out there who there's literally millions and billions of other women out there who will not do that to you.
Yeah. There's no saving this.
Yeah. Break up.
Only thing there is to save is your self-respect.
Yep. Break up.
Break up.
Moving on. This one is from Am I the Asshole? For making my daughter return a Halloween costume. This happened in October, and my daughter is still acting cold and hardly speaking to me. My daughter, 16 female, works an after-school job 5 days a week. Her high school had a costume contest for Halloween. My daughter and her friends planned a group costume to enter. She went with her friends after school to buy costumes. I picked her and her friends up from the store, and they showed me their costumes. My daughter spent $80 on her. I was pissed. That's a lot of money to spend on something you're going to wear for a few hours. Very irresponsible use of money. I told her as much in the car and told her it was ridiculous. I dropped her friends off and took her back to the store to return the costume and accessories. Her friends found someone else to take her place in the group, and they won the contest and a $100 Visa gift card to split. My daughter came home from school on Halloween upset. She claimed she had to sit and watch her friends have fun, and she missed out on everything. I pointed out to her after splitting the gift card, it would be way less than she spent on the costume, and it was only a few hours. But she didn't want to listen to me. Now, a month later, she's still moody and mostly ignoring me. My ex-husband told me I made her miss out, and she worked so much. She missed out on a lot of stuff with her friends, and I could have let her have this. But at the end of the day, I saved her $80. I was just trying to teach my daughter how to be responsible with money. She could have gotten a cheap costume, especially since she would have only worn it for a few hours. I think this mom is the asshole. I understand the intention behind it, but she is 16 and she is working after school 5 days a week. That is crazy responsible. When I was in high school, I worked 1 day a week at Blockbuster. That's how people are going to do the math and figure out that I'm an old bitch. But and even that was like a lot, right? So this girl already has a lot of responsibility to do that and work ethic, and it's $80 for a day of fun with your friends. Like, why take that away from her? If she works hard and it's her money, she earned it. I'm under the impression that she probably has more money than just $80 that she's probably saving. Like, oh my God, let your daughter have some fun.
The value add of returning the costume does not eclipse the memory. She made a goal for herself. She worked for herself. And if this happened post-COVID, $80 for a Halloween costume, that's a going rate.
Oh my God.
That's a going
The
rate.
Halloween costume economy is a reflection of the general inflation. It's crazy expensive. And the quality is getting worse. Look at you, Spirit Halloween.
What would a cheap costume be?
Yeah.
They're all cheap.
And she's like, well, the prize was less than what the costume would have cost. But, like, they won. So, like, it's not about the Visa gift card, really. It's about winning. And it's about winning with your friends and having a good time. Like, yeah, you're an asshole. My God. She works hard. You work to be able to treat yourself occasionally. Should make it sound like her daughter was excessively spending all the time and she works for. So let her have fun.
Yeah, I've got nothing for you. You're an asshole.
The asshole. This one is from Am I the Asshole? For dressing up as Batman for Halloween. I, 34 male, am married to my wife, 34 female, and we have 2 kids together. Every year, my wife's family does a family theme for Halloween that we all dress up as. This year's theme is Barbie, any Barbie movie that there is. And my wife, decided we would do Princess Charm School, since it was her favorite Barbie movie growing up. I hate this theme and would rather go with something more manly that won't embarrass me in front of my neighbors and friends. After work one night, I stopped at the store and got myself a Batman costume instead. I let my wife believe I was going to be Barbie's love interest from the movie and would arrive late to the party because I was working late. When in reality, I was getting ready to wear a Batman costume. When I arrived at the party, my wife's sister happened to meet me by the door and got mad at me for wearing this costume. I explained that I didn't like the theme she chose, so I chose my own. At that point, my wife had found us and started yelling about how selfish I was and how this is the one time a year that she gets to let loose and have fun with the theme. She told me to leave, and I drove to a friend's house and spent the night out of anger. All of her family is blowing up my phone to tell me how selfish I am and calling me every name in the book. I blocked them and told my wife I needed a couple of days to cool down. As I thought about it more, I can see how I was being a little selfish and should have stuck with the theme. But I don't think I'm the a-hole for sticking to my own beliefs and having free will in this relationship. I don't know why. There is something really distinctly funny to me about a man who's so threatened by coming off as like emasculine to his neighbors that he had to go out and dress as Batman. As if that doesn't make him seem like a child, I guess. Like, I'm not saying that being Barbie theme is mature, but it's just really funny to be like, I'm going to prove a point about what a man I am. I'm not the one wearing hockey pads.
You know, It's easy.
Where's Rachel?
Where's Rachel?
Where's she?
Where are they? It's fun. It's fun and easy to riff on this incredibly insecure husband. However, I want to point out something underlying that really shows he's an asshole. He didn't tell his wife leading up to Halloween that he wasn't going to be a part of the theme.
He also took time.
He led her on to believe that he was going to participate. It wasn't until the day of. Surprise, I'm an asshole.
He said he was going to show up late because he was working, but he was like, but I was at home getting dressed as Batman to prove a point.
He was doing the Robert Pattinson eye black.
No. Honestly, you know what I think? I think everybody in this situation is handling it quite immaturely. The one thing that I'm noticing that I'm really seeing is that nobody asked their two kids what they wanted to be.
Let's throw ourselves under the bus here. These are some millennial-ass parents. It's about them first, the kids second.
Like, the wife's family picked the Barbie theme. She wanted to be Princess Charm School. He wants to be Batman. Do these kids care about Barbie or Batman? Maybe they do. Who knows? The Halloween is not about adults. It's about kids to have fun. Like, yeah, sure. If you're an adult and you're going to an adult party, then you want to do something cool, fine. But their kids are there. Let the kids pick. Who cares?
Is there not a Batman Barbie crossover he could have tapped into?
Barbie Batman.
There has to be.
Barbenheimer.
You're forgetting the Batman.
He could have gone as that dude. What the fuck was his name? Oppenheimer? Am I fucking dumb? Was his name Oppenheimer?
Cillian, is it Cillian Murphy?
Yeah, what's that guy's name?
In the movie Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
His name is Oppenheimer.
Is it really?
Oh,
For some reason I thought it was like Project Manhattan. I thought it was Project Oppenheimer.
Oh boy.
I want you guys to know I didn't see Barbie or Oppenheimer. Is he the asshole?
Oh, clearly.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
The asshole. Okay. This is just a paranormal story. So join me for the ride. Join us for the ride. This is from r/paranormal. I witnessed a very strange half animal, half human thing on Halloween long ago. I had an experience with my soon-to-be brother-in-law. It was Halloween. Weird shit started happening as the brother-in-law, my cousin, and I were heading out to a place called 5 Mile. We were going to check out the place where witches and some satanic cults practice their rituals. As we're heading down the road, my brother-in-law realized the headlights were dim. Soon after, the radio cuts off. Then the car dies altogether. Headlights come back on. Sigh of relief. Thinking we've made it and will stay alive. That's when we notice something moving in the bushes. Okay, we're in the middle of nowhere. Not something that should be odd at all. But then you felt it. The feeling of dread. Knowing we were about to see something we really didn't want to see. I look over at my soon-to-be brother-in-law, and that's when the thing walks out of the bushes. We stare at it for about a minute, looking like idiots. That's when I hear soon-to-be brother-in-law ask if it's standing on its back legs. I answer, yes, it is. We continue to watch this thing walk for about 5 yards before crossing the middle of the road and jumping off to the opposite side of the bushes. The car fires up on its own after whatever leaves. We look at each other. Then brother-in-law hits the gas, we flip a bitch, and we're on our way back home. When we get home, my younger cousin goes to sleep. Brother-in-law and I stay up, trying to rationalize what we all witnessed. Closest we could figure, we just saw a coyote come out of the bushes and walk across the road on its hind legs. The only problem with that, outside of the coyote crossing the road on its hind legs, is that we both realized the hind legs weren't bent at an angle or angled right. They were bent, angled like a human's legs. We also realized that the coyote was bigger than either of us had seen before. That's when we both noped on the subject and went to sleep. Good times on Halloween in Oklahoma. First of all, we went to Oklahoma once. It's a weird place.
Wait, wasn't the Tiger King in Oklahoma? I think it was. They probably saw some really drunk, methed out dude cross the road in the middle of the night.
Are there bears in Oklahoma?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like a lot of things people mistake. Have you seen a bear stand on its hind legs? It looks like a person in a bear suit. So maybe it was just like a bear. Or, well, the car was dying and stuff. It was a skinwalker. Oklahoma honestly seems like a place you would see a skinwalker.
Yeah. Yeah. Some places you just go there and you get this feeling of like dread.
Yeah.
It's probably where we were in Oklahoma. I'm sure there's some beautiful, beautiful horizons that you can see and some beautiful night skies.
Maybe.
Not where we were.
It was nothing.
Depressing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if I saw like a cryptid in real life in the woods, I'd probably just throw up all over myself and pass out.
Couldn't you also be equally as scared of a methed out Oklahoman in the middle of the night?
I mean, people are scary for sure, but I don't know. Like there's something really uniquely frightening about an animal like human that's not a human. Also, I don't like. That's one of like my top 10 things I dislike next to like giant creatures in the ocean. Why? Okay, that was a fun story. Moving on. This is from r/paranormal encounters. I saw a Wendigo and I wish I hadn't. I need to write this down before I convince myself it didn't happen. This happened in December last year. I was visiting my uncle in northern Minnesota, near the Canadian border. He's the kind of guy who prefers solitude, lives in a cabin deep in the woods, no close neighbors, just the trees and whatever lives in them. I never minded visiting. I like the quiet, but after that night, I don't think I'll ever go back. It was the coldest night of the year, at least negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. My uncle had gone into town for supplies, so I was alone. The cabin was warm and the fire was crackling. I was scrolling on my phone when I heard it. Something moved outside. Not footsteps, more like a dragging sound, slow and deliberate. At first I thought it was the wind, but then came the knock. Not at the door, at the window. 3 slow, deliberate taps. I froze. My uncle's nearest neighbor was miles away, and no sane person would be out in that cold. The knocking came again. I reached for my flashlight and shined it through the window. I wish I hadn't. There was something standing just beyond the tree line. It was tall, at least 7 or 8 feet, but emaciated, with long, bony limbs. Its skin looked frostbitten, almost blackened, and its eyes were glowing. Not reflecting light, glowing on their own, like embers buried in a dying fire. I should have looked away. I should have closed the curtains, but I was frozen, staring, unable to breathe. And then it smiled. Its teeth were too many, too sharp, stretching across its face. It opened its mouth wider than any human should, and then it spoke. Let me in. The voice didn't match the body. It sounded wrong, like a recording played at the wrong speed. Too deep, too garbled. I ran. I grabbed my uncle's rifle, locked the door, and backed into the farthest corner of the room. The knocking stopped, but I could hear it scraping against the wall outside. Slow, patient, like it had all the time in the world. I sat there for what felt like hours, rifle shaking in my hands, until my uncle finally came back. The second his headlights swept across the trees, the noise stopped. He found me pale, sweating, and gripping the gun like my life depended on it. I told him everything. He didn't say a word, just nodded and checked around the cabin. When he came back, he looked unsettled. There are no tracks in the snow, he said. Nothing. That was impossible. I heard it. I saw it, but there was nothing outside. No footprints, no marks on the wall, just the untouched snow and the silent, watching trees. I left the next morning and haven't been back since. My uncle still lives there, but he told me something before I left. If you ever hear it again, he said, don't look, and whatever you do, never let it in. I haven't told anyone else until now, but I know what I saw, and I know it's still out there. Well, I've been researching Wendigos lately, and it's a good thing you didn't let him in because he was gonna eat you.
I didn't realize that Wendigos had that vampire mechanic, that you have to grant them permission.
I mean, from what I understand, they don't. So if that Wendigo was really hungry, dude would have been eaten.
By themselves, in the woods, in the cold, in the dark.
See, this is why I can't be alone in the woods by myself. Like, I would get hysterical. Nothing could even be happening. I don't like being alone. oh, do you ever see those big houses that are like in the middle of nowhere? They're beautiful houses, right? In the woods, in the middle of nowhere, all glass windows. All fucking glass windows. And all I can imagine is walking out, all the lights are on, it's cozy, looking up, and there's just somebody standing at the fucking window. Even just that, nobody could be doing it, but that's what I think of every time. I would not be comfortable. I'd be shitting my pants because I'd be afraid every time I turned, there'd be somebody like at the fucking window. I have a lot of irrational fears.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
That was a fun story, though.
That was fun. That image, very clear.
Honestly, in my research of Wendigos, they don't tell you any way to like fight off a Wendigo or stop a Wendigo. It just seems like if they're hungry, they're going to eat you.
Is it one of those cryptids where you can only run away?
Pretty much, I think.
Your only strat is to run.
I'd be fucked because I'm only 5'2". I got little legs. I had like a 10-foot thing chasing me. I'm done. But I'm just like a little snack. I'm just like a cute little snack. They'd be like, I'm not even full. I'm like never full, but like I'm definitely not full because I'm just like a little treat.
Little treat. Little snack.
Little snack.
Sweet treat. Little sweet treat.
Little sweet treat. This was fun. I had fun.
It was fun.
I love Halloween, and I hope that you all have a happy and safe Halloween.
Enjoy the festivities. Stay safe. Stay safe.
Stay safe out there. And careful drinking, Uber, sober friends. We care about you.
Check your candy for needles and razor blades. Yeah, anything you want to wrap it up with?
We'll be back next week, either with some more stories or from Reddit, or like we have to do the Twilight series soon. But either way, we'll be back next week. So until then, bye. What is skeletons' favorite food?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. Steak?
No.
Sugar skulls? You want me to do it?
Do I have like an imprint on my head?
Yeah. Oh my God.
We'll be next. We'll be next.